Clara's business expanded and her family's involvement deepened, she began to feel the pressure mount in ways she hadn't anticipated. The success of the new diner location was undeniable, but with success came growing pains. Clara was spread thin, trying to balance the intricacies of her family life and the demands of her expanding empire. The constant calls, meetings, and decisions left her feeling mentally and physically drained. Her relationships with her children, which had always been close knit, started to show signs of strain. As her children took on more responsibilities, their once harmonious collaboration began to fracture. Jack, who had always been the reliable and pragmatic one, started questioning Clara's decisions. His business minded approach sometimes clashed with her gut instincts, which had always served her well. Lily, who had once been so in tune with her mother's vision, became distant, focused more on her own future than maintaining the tight knit family bond that had carried them this far. Clara felt the tension, but was unsure how to address it without losing the progress they had made. The cracks in their family's foundation began to show, and Clara knew she needed to find a way to fix it before it all came crashing down. The tension in the family reached a boiling point when one of Clara's children made a drastic decision without consulting her. Ethan, who had always been the free spirit, announced that he was moving to another state to pursue a business opportunity he had been offered. Clara was stunned. She had always been proud of Ethan's ambitions, but this felt like betrayal. He had been an integral part of the family's success, and she hadn't even known he was considering leaving. The news hit Clara hard, and she couldn't help but wonder if the strain in the family was pushing them in different directions. She tried to reach out to Ethan, but his decision was final. He was determined to build his future on his own, separate from the family's business. Clara felt a mixture of heartbreak, confusion, and frustration. This wasn't what she had envisioned with her when she first opened the diner. She had always dreamed of growing together as a family, but now it seemed like they were all moving in separate directions. She tried to mask her hurt with strength, but inside she was torn. The foundation she had worked so hard to build was starting to crumble. In the days following Ethan's departure, Clara couldn't shake the feeling of loss. It wasn't just about losing him from the family business. It was about losing the connection they had shared. Her children had always been her greatest resource of strength, and now, with each of them pulling away in their own ways, Clara wondered if she had failed them. She questioned her role as a mother and as a leader. Had she pushed too hard for them to follow in her footsteps? Had her ambition driven a wedge between them? These questions consumed her thoughts as she spent long nights reflecting on the choices she had made. Her heart ached for Ethan, who seemed so determined to forge his own path. but she couldn't shake the feeling that he had left behind something precious, the bond of family. Clara knew she couldn't change his mind, but she vowed to do whatever it took to bring the family back together. She began to plan ways to reconnect with her children, to show them no matter how far apart they might grow, they would always have each other. Determined not to let her family fall apart, Clara took the first steps towards rebuilding their relationship. She reached out to each of her children, asking for a family meeting. When they gathered around the dinner table that evening, the air was thick with unspoken tensions. Clara addressed them with a calm yet resolute voice, telling them how much they meant to her, how much their unity had meant to her over the years. She spoke from the heart, opening up about the fears of losing them and her desires to see them thrive, both individually and together. It wasn't easy, but Clara's sincerity struck a chord with her children. They each took turns expressing their frustrations, their own feelings of neglect, and their desires to carve out their own identities. It was a difficult conversation, but it was necessary. For the first time in a long while, Clara felt like they were all on the same page. Family wasn't perfect, but they were willing to work on healing the rifts that had formed. That night, Clara went to bed with a sense of hope she hadn't felt in weeks. The road to healing wouldn't be easy, but it would be a start. While Clara was focusing on mending her family's relationship, the business was not without its own challenges. The second location, though successful, was beginning to show signs of strain. The competition in the market was growing, and Clara found herself in a constant battle to keep her business relevant. She had always been able to rely on her instinct, but now the pressure of managing multiple locations, dealing with staffing issues, and ensuring that her brand stayed fresh were weighing on her. The once thriving business was beginning to plateau, and Clara couldn't help but feel like she was losing control. She started to doubt her abilities to steer the business through the new phase of growth. It wasn't just about financials. It was about the heart and soul of what she had built. Clara knew that without significant change, the diner could lose its charm, and she couldn't bear the thought of that. The family business, which had once been a source of pride, was now a source of anxiety. She needed help, expert advice, and fresh ideas to steer the business in the right direction. Click the next video following Clara's journey as she faces new challenges in both her business and family life. The video is not over. Please continue to enjoy the sounds of chewing gum. Thank you for listening. Please don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe if you have not, and comment. Thank you so much. See you on the next video.